it was bad for her. It was really bad for her. And yes, I was sharing the shady post towards her.
What's up guys, it's Kaelin and I am back with another video. And today's video, we're going to be talking about DaBaby. I'm finally getting to this video. Actually, I tried to film this video 3 different times and we're here. This is the 3rd try and we're going to go for it because 3rd time is the charm. Sorry if I sound a little congested, my sinuses are acting up, so just clarity. But today we're doing a kickback. I know I haven't done a kickback in a while and I really love the kickbacks because it's really a time for us to have those productive conversations, and I think that that's some of the funner videos that I like, or the more interesting videos that I like. Those are the ones that I really like, and those are the ones that I really like reading and researching about, and or just talking about those conversations in general. So yeah, today we're gonna be doing DaBaby. That's what has been happening this past week, is DaBaby and the shit that he has been saying, the things that have come out of it. And I wanted to let this play out a little bit. In fact, I actually filmed this video 3 different times, but I wanted to let the things play out. Plus I had a few technical difficulties, so I was like, you know what, it's totally fine. But I still wanted to get this video out there because I'm gay, I'm black, and I'm HIV positive. So this seems like a good video to talk about. It's more or less not even directed to DaBaby in general, but I wanted to talk about the topic in general. So without further ado, you know what you gotta do. You gotta subscribe. If this is your first time seeing my face, what's up? My name's Kaelin Williams. How's it going? I do anything from men's lifestyle and grooming, entertainment videos, and even pop culture and societal critiques like the one you're watching. So if this seems like it suits your fancy, if this seems like it's getting your gears grinding, you know what you gotta do. You gotta hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can see all of my latest videos. And if you are not new, if you have seen many of my videos beforehand and you have not subscribed, you are fake. Yes, you are fake, but I'm a forgiving person, okay? I'm a forgiving person. I don't judge. I understand sometimes you forget. You're so wrapped up in my videos that you forgot to hit the subscribe button, but this is your chance to make amends. Thank you. Look at you. See, I knew you were a good person. All right, let's just jump right into the video. All right, so if you don't know, last weekend, there was Rolling Loud, and DaBaby decided to get on stage, and in the middle of his performance, he decided to say some very crude and insensitive remarks. I don't want to misquote him, so I'm gonna put them right here.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your pussy smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas, lights up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking nigga dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air. Let's be real about this shit. Yeah, keep it fucking real. Some of y'all niggas suspect as a motherfucker. Let's be real.
I think, do you think she's dumb?
Yeah, so he decided to do that, which was stupid as hell. Very insensitive, very ignorant remarks. And then he proceeded to double down on what he said and not necessarily apologize. What he basically said is that we took it wrong. That we took it wrong, what he said. Now, if you just listen to what he said, I don't even think that you can interpret that any other way than what he said. I don't think you can interpret that any other way than what he said, but apparently he thought that we took it wrong and that his gay followers don't have AIDS, they don't have all of these issues because they're not dirty, they're classy. I'm black, I'm gay, and I'm HIV positive, so this kind of struck a nerve with me, but it didn't necessarily strike a nerve because of what he said necessarily or how he said it on stage, because for me, if you're on stage in front of 1,000 people, thousands of people, hundreds, thousand, whatever people, and they're here to see you perform your music, and the first thing that comes to your mind is HIV and AIDS, gay people sucking dick in the parking lot. Like, I'm confused about a lot of things, but we're not even we're gonna get there later, okay? The first thing is actually that. Let's start with that. Because the first thing that comes to my mind is just really, why the hell is that on the forefront of your mind? Like, why is that right here?
Suspect as a motherfucker, let's be real.
Like, you're performing, you're having a good show, and you decide to say this because you could have just said, put your cell phone lighters up. That's it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. You know, you could have did so many things. However, you decided to bring it to gay people and sucking dick in the parking lot. And that just leads me to be, were you sucking dick in the parking lot? What's going on? Like, why is this right here? Because usually when I'm thinking about something, I'm talking about topics, or if I'm at an important event, or if I'm doing something that's really important to me, The last thing on my mind is something that is far removed from me. Things that are so far removed from me, i.e. gay, like straight people. Straight people issues are usually so far removed from what the hell I'm talking about because it just doesn't pertain to me. So I'm not necessarily like, it's not right here. It's not right here. I don't even think it's back here. It's really like back here. So the fact that that's on the front of your mind just like, it lets me know a few things about DaBaby.
Suspect as a motherfucker, let's be real.
But the problem with what he said isn't just the fact that he was insinuating that if you have HIV and AIDS that you're dirty or that like you have to be sucking dick in the parking lot. Like that, what he said isn't necessarily surprising to me because the brand of person that he is says shit like that, and it's not just because they're ignorant, because yes, he's an ignorant fuck, and that's the thing. But a lot of people misconstrue the fact that money doesn't equal knowledge, and so you can have a lot of money and be still ignorant. And like just because you attain a lot of money does not mean that you just gain knowledge. Like those things don't correlate. So he is an idiot, but not just because oh he's rich and he doesn't know better. It's a problem because he represents a brand of person within the Black community that thinks just like this. He represents actually a good chunk of people who truly believe that in order to get HIV and AIDS, you have to be out here in the gutters, like doing all of these unnecessary things or dirty things, and that's how you get HIV and AIDS, not just having sex with somebody who may not have known, or not just having sex with somebody who didn't go get tested, or not just having sex with somebody who got it from like their parents, or not somebody who is not undetectable yet, or like there's so many ways that you can get HIV that don't have to do with like you having sex like in the parking lot. Like I know so many people who do shit like that and who are scot-free. They do not have any STDs at all and they fuck raw. So it's not necessarily that. And so that's the problem, is that what it does is that it reinforces a lot of negative stereotypes about HIV that are not real and are just completely ignorant to a lot of the people that look up to him. Because a lot of people still believe that when you become that rich, you have like now this sort of more, you're well versed in a lot more topics. You become like the spokesperson for a lot of folks, and he should not be the spokesperson for shit. Like, he should not be the spokesperson for shit. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of celebrities that I just wish would shut the hell up. We're gonna talk about some of those after this, like T.I. and Boosie and Zoe, goddamn Zoe, whatever his name is. Those people should just shut the fuck up, okay? There's a lot of people that should shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, goddamn.
DaBaby is one of those people. And the reason is like I said, because this reinforces stereotypes that A, a lot of people already have, and B, more damagingly, to the people that do have HIV that still believe these things in their head. Like, even though they know I accidentally got it from whatever circumstance, they believe that, oh, the world sees me as now contaminated or dirty, and that literally in some cases, people won't share like towels with people. People won't want to hug people. People want to stand at a distance from people because they feel like that's how you're going to get it, or you're this walking death trap now. And it's like, bitch, no. Girl, no. Okay? That's not what the fuck this is. So the fact that you have somebody on a stage in front of all of these people, which some of them, and not even just on that, this is being filmed and televised now around the world. This is on the worldwide fucking web now. There's a lot of people who agree with him because they are also ignorant, but don't think that they're ignorant. They just think, oh yeah, that's the truth. And you clearly should know that because fucking DaBaby even knows that. And it's like, girl. First of all, y'all all need to go to somebody's doctor, because anybody's doctor would tell you that nigga is dumb as hell, dumb as rocks, incorrect, okay? Though I'm not one of those people that's still feeling kind of insecure about my sexuality and sexual wellness, I know that there's a lot of people who have recently contracted HIV. There's a lot of people who are just afraid to talk to people about HIV or about their HIV status because they feel like a lot of people are going to react like DaBaby would, like saying, oh my God, oh shit, you have to be doing X, Y, and Z, or you out here wilding, or you're dirty, and da 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 da. And that's simply not the case. But because I know that, and in my experience, I haven't had a negative reaction to it, I am 100% okay with it. I just know that he's a fucking idiot, and I just moves on. But I know this affects a lot of folks, and that's why I'm here today, is because this in 2021 is completely unacceptable. And it sucks because a lot of people that are, we don't get the access to a lot of sexual education, proper sexual education at especially an earlier age. A lot of the times people find out these things when they get HIV, and they now know all of these things, like, oh wow, I thought it was this and this, or I thought you had to be doing this and this, or I thought that you could only live this long, or I thought that you had to take this many medications, or whatever it may be. They don't know that because it doesn't pertain to them, and so you don't really even know what to look up, and you don't know what information is correct and what's not correct. And especially if you hear shit all the time like this, or you hear things from peers and family members and things, so you think that you know something that you really don't have really any clue about. And like I said, on top of that, in our school systems, in public school systems that primarily have Black and brown students, they don't have a well-versed sexual wellness. Like, they don't have a well-versed sexual wellness course or sexual education like system going on. Like, that's not something that people talk about. In fact, a lot of people don't really talk about a lot of gay issues in school because the children, whatever, which we'll get to that later also. But a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about those things, and there's a sense of taboo around the subject. And so people live their life so ignorantly blissful until they either end up with somebody that they know that has HIV, themselves have HIV, and or they're just generally affected by HIV in their actual life in close proximity. And then that's when their eyes are kind of awakened. Or any sexual like transmitted disease, that's usually how it happens, is that you really don't know until it happens to you. There was a lot of information that I didn't know prior to getting HIV, and I was one of the more well-knowledged of my peers. Like, I knew more than some other folks did. And even my friends later on, after like finding out about me or having their own experiences, that's when I saw them be like, oh wow, like people really don't know this shit. And I'm like, yeah bro, like people don't tell people about this. And that's what's really disheartening to me, because it sucks when you are somebody who is new and has HIV and you know this to not be true, but your subconscious and all of your prior thinking, like they're telling you, oh, once you become undetectable, you'll be fine. And in your head, you're like, bitch, y'all just telling me that. They're like, y'all just telling me that to get me out the office because y'all know it's not, and I'll just figure it out later. But like, y'all just don't feel like talking to me about it, or y'all don't really care, or yeah, y'all are just telling me that so I feel better, but we all know the truth. And it's like, no, like you're actually fine, you're actually okay, you did not do anything necessarily wrong. Like, either, like for in my case, I was lied to, so it wasn't like somebody just I was out here doing XYZ that was so wild. And at the young age that I was when I got it, not younger, and I say young because it was so long ago now, but I was so much younger, and I just was so naive to just believing folks and not necessarily being 100% firm in like my choices all the time. So that's how I got it. But it wasn't because I was out here just wilding and doing crazy shit, because I know some people who, to me, I'm like, girl, y'all are wild. No judgment, like get yours. But I'm like, for me, like that, I would feel like I'm out there, you know. But they are living the life and they have no STDs, they're fine, because of whatever precautions or whatever luck that they've had thus far. And that's just how it happened. If somebody like this would have said something like this when I was first diagnosed, I definitely would have internalized that the wrong way. It definitely would have had an impact on the way that I expressed my sexual wellness to other folks, or just disclosed those things to other folks, because my disclosure process was very easy. But for some people, it's really not, and it is riddled with the fact that I don't want to be stigmatized. I don't want to have these stereotypes placed upon me when they're not true. And that's the overarching issue, because like I said, DaBaby is ignorant, and that's his ignorant take. And it sucks because on one hand, I'm like, he's a fucking idiot. Like, what the hell would you say that for? And especially the way that he talked about it afterwards, I'm just like, he's fucking sucks. His PR team doesn't give a damn about him, and I just don't think that he should be in the forefront of the black community and or black rap and or just pop culture. I just think that we need to just push him off to the side. Honestly, if we could take him off of everybody's festival list and just replace him with Chris Brown, I honestly would put Chris Brown back on probation from being canceled and just give him a good 6 months, because he seems like he's on the right track right now. He's been quiet. He's actually talked out a bit about DaBaby. He said, you know what? He's learned his lesson. Get your ass on stage, thank your fans, and dip, okay? Like, that's all you gotta do, because some people, we don't need your take. We don't need your take. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Which brings me to my next 3 topics. First of all, let's talk about Boosie, because Boosie badass. He likes to bring his old, unnecessary, tired ass out of whatever decrepit manhole he comes from, specifically when it comes to gay issues. And that's peculiar to me, because I'm like, if you are so straight, why are you so bothered by gay shit? Like, why does anything gay people do bother you? And specifically what I'm talking about is because he agreed with DaBaby and what he said, but also brought in the fact that Lil Nas X said that he would perform for charity and he would perform naked, which prompted him to be like, oh, I beat his ass if I, like, y'all, you're not gonna do that in front of children, like, that's disrespectful, da 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 da. And it's, first of all, like, who this hell ever said the children were gonna be there? Second of all, why the hell was that? Who even heard that fucking interview? Because I had my gay ass, and I clearly, if you watch my YouTube video, you see that I like Lil Nas. So I'm like, I ain't even hear this. So how the hell is you hearing this, Boosie? Why is you specifically, what channel is you specifically watching, Boosie? That you hearing all the gay tea? Why is it that you don't have shit to say when it's Black Lives Matter? When black men are getting shot in general, you don't have shit to say. When black women are getting shot, you don't have shit to say. When black women have issues, you don't have shit to say. When black straight men have issues that they talk about, you don't have shit to say. But, no pun intended. Whenever there's gay issues, Boosie's right there. He's coming in hot. First of all, Boosie, we don't need you to worry about children, because you couldn't even worry about your own. You actually had your son raped by women. So for you to tell me that you're scared of somebody dancing naked when you actually paid for strippers to rape your underage son, and you're telling me that your concern is with the children, I find that hard to believe. I find it hard to believe. Actually, I don't believe it at all. I think that it's I'm calling you out on your bullshit. What happens is that people like Boosie, he saw Lil Nas X video, and you know, being in the pen, you get a little, and he liked it. And so therefore he saw himself in that music video. He saw himself in that music video, and he got offended. Because he's like, they know. They know. They know. And I don't like that. So now I have to go out against that so people don't think that about me. Which no one fucking thought about Boosie in the first place. Like, literally no one ever asked for Boosie to come out and speak. Yet he does. Every time. Specifically with gay issues. And so, yeah, that's what it's giving for Boosie, is that he himself is a homosexual man, and he must talk about these things because he's fighting these desires himself. And so he needs to make sure that other people that are like him, DL folks, either don't catch on, or straight people don't catch on to the fact that he's a homosexual. But I mean, the gays, we know now, because I don't know any straight man that's ever talking about gay issues this much. It just doesn't fucking pertain to them, so they just don't talk about it. That being said, for Boosie, I feel like he should just come out. I feel like he should just come out, because it's obvious now. Like, it's obvious. Because he believes that you have to train men to be straight. And the only time I've ever heard about people having to be trained to be straight is in conversion therapy, which conversion therapy is tired. We do not support that either. But in conversion therapy, what happens is that there is a gay individual, and they must be trained to repress their desires in order to be straight. That's the only time I've ever heard of somebody needing to be trained to be straight, because straight men are just naturally straight. Gay men are just naturally gay. So in order to train them to be straight, you have to have been gay first. And that's what Boosie is. he's repressing these desires. And that's what he tried to do for his son, is to make sure that his son doesn't go after these desires himself. So he made sure that I trained him early. I got him started early so he doesn't even go there. Because Boosie himself knows where he's at. And that's where I'm gonna leave that at. Because the thing is that Boosie, Now, let's get to T.I. We're gonna get to T.I. T.I. has an upcoming versus with Georgia State Prison, and yet he himself is also worried about the children. It's very bizarre to me, because what children are you worried about? The ones that you've molested? The ones that have molestation cases against you? Which ones are you worried about? Why do you think that we need you to worry about children? You can't even handle your own daughter. You're violating your daughter's rights as an individual and her sexual wellness rights. When we already know that situation. That's fucking weird, okay? And then also, again, with the molestation charges against you and your wife, I think that you should shut the hell up, okay? I want to also know when the hell did everybody decide that T.I. was the spokesperson for Black America? That shit is still bonkers to me, and I just need him to go, okay? I'm waiting on the day that they lock his ass up, because, my God, that man is a menace. And he recently did a live with Zoe, I don't know how you pronounce their name. However, Zoe is one of those pick-me gays that runs to straight America and really aligns with what they're saying and tries to be the person that shows, oh, hey, not all gay people are like them. We kind of think the same as straight people. So it validates ignorant straight people like DaBaby and T.I. and Boosie's rhetoric, because he's like, oh yeah, no, word, same, and I'm gay, so clearly I know what the fuck is up. When it's like, shut the fuck up, okay? It's not, you don't need to talk. We don't need to hear your opinion at all, okay? And I really hate invalidating people's opinions, because opinions are what they are. They're opinions. Everybody's got one, just like an asshole. But some people don't need to say their opinions out loud, and Zoe is also one of those people, because he's one of those people that also said he only dates DL men, which struck a nerve with me as well, because that to me says self-hate. That to me says self-internalized homophobia. Because there's no reason that you, a gay man, doesn't feel comfortable dating other gay men. And if you think that, oh, by dating DL men, that you're somehow getting out of the loophole of dating gay men, unfortunately, those men are still gay, they're just not openly gay. And if you think that openness and masculinity correlate, that's not necessarily the same thing either. So the thing is that he recently said that he dates only DL men. He explains why, because he said that his first statement, and he's contradicted himself a couple of times, because his first statement was, oh, because when I go to the club with my nigga, I don't want all these other niggas to have fucked him. Which I'm like, okay, but then there's other niggas that you have fucked, because if the other DL men that you date are there, which they're likely to be, then you have just been fucked by all those people. So then,
I think, do you think she's dumb?
Okay. But then, it also just says that, like, you think that gay men all just have sex with each other, which, to be fair, there is a small community of Black gay men, and sometimes there is a little overlap. There is. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that that's not true. But that happens in the straight community too, so I don't wanna hear that shit. Third of all, then he came back and said that he wanted to be transgender and he wished that he could have been trans, and so then he would consider himself a cis woman, which I'm like, I don't technically know if that's the word that you should use, but I'm not trans and I have no jurisdiction over the community, and they're very rich. So I'm just like, okay, if you think of yourself as a woman, but you still identify right now as a man, but you want to identify as a woman, then yes, you would want to date straight men because you think of yourself as a woman. However, you still are presenting as a man, and you still identify as a man, and you still have all of the parts of a man. So it's like, I don't really see how you would think that they think of you as a woman, because they think of you as a nigga. So if they think of you as a nigga and they're a nigga, then they're gay. So it's still of lost on me, but I was like, okay, I can kind of walk with you if you consider yourself a woman. But then he came back again, and put this at the beginning. Yeah, he went on a live with T.I. and basically was like validating the fact that he thought that those things that the DaBaby said were wrong, but then he also said that he shouldn't be canceled, which of course we all fucking disagree on. But he was just trying to, like, you know, align with straight people because he's on the pick me gays. Then he came back and then he was like, he doesn't date DL men because, I mean, he doesn't date gay men because he thinks that gay masculinity and straight masculinity are two different things, because for some reason he believes that gay men don't have straight male friends or have only straight male friends or can exist in straight male worlds, because I'm like, DL men are doing the same thing, they're not open about it. But he thinks that when you have a certain level of openness, that you lose the level of masculinity, and that the straight people won't want to hang out with you, which is a problem, because if that's the case, that's a fucking problem. Like, that's just idiotic of the straight people to do that. But he believes that, then again, he essentially wants to be the only gay man that you've ever slept with if you are with him, because he feels like DL men, like, don't have sex with other men. And I'm like, no, baby, that's not how it works either. So yeah, he just said a whole bunch of stupid shit, which I'm just like, okay, again, he should not be the spokesperson for a bitch ass thing. He needs to go away. I'm less interested in what he has to talk about, because he's a gay man that's just like, you know how like coons talk and you just like, you one ear and not the other. He's one of those. He's like a gay coon, and it's just like, it's tired. It's a dark place. But again, there's a lot of the girls out there that are like that, and we pray for them, because I can't help them, because they don't hang out with gay men like me. They don't want to hang out with gay men like me that can educate them on why these things are problematic. I recommend that they seek help for sure. I recommend therapy to everybody, not just people like him. I recommend therapy to everybody. Everybody can benefit from therapy, especially black folks. However, he needs to be in somebody's session, okay? He needs to be in somebody's section, because there's a lot of internalized issues that I can't help with, you can't help with, and talking shit about him on Twitter ain't gonna help with it. So he needs to go talk to somebody specialized in these topics. But yeah, all in all, this video was just supposed to be kind of lighthearted, but also just very informational, because I did want to make sure that the people who are out there who are HIV positive, who are unaware of their sexual status, feel comfortable to talk about their sexual wellness, feel comfortable to go talk about getting tested, feel comfortable just going getting tested, and also feel comfortable about their sexual expression, because no one should be judged about what they like within reason, within a lot of reason. But no one should be told that, oh, if you're sucking dick in the parking lot, that you are now dirty, because people do that shit all the time. Saying that people don't do that all the time is just avoiding the truth. And we as black people also need to come to terms with the fact that we don't know a lot about sexual wellness and sexual health. And that's not just because we're just inherently ignorant. It's because we weren't taught these things, and we aren't taught these things until they happen. And so we need to, take accountability for the fact that there are people like that, and we need to educate our fellow brothers and sisters that that's not the shit that you need to be saying. That's not the way that you need to be thinking. That shit's not fucking true, and that shit is harmful to our community, because it reinforces people to, one, not want to go get tested because they don't want to know, because they're like, if I can just live without knowing, then maybe it's not real. And then two, it makes the people that already do know and they're taking the precautions to make sure that their health is better, and that they are undetectable, and that they are disclosing to people. It makes it harder to disclose to people, and so that just further incites the cycle. So yeah, it's a really hard place to be at, but it is something that we as black people, and I want to say this specifically, white people, shut the fuck up. This is not for you. This part of the video is not for you, okay? This is just for my people, okay? Black people only, right here. I think that we need to, one, better our sexual health knowledge, and also have better conversations around these things, and hold our other people, and like I said, hold our other brothers and sisters accountable, because the shit's not cool. Like, that shit out there is not cool to say, because I'm okay, but there's a lot of people that you just may not even know, because they think you think like this, because you may do, that don't feel comfortable talking about it. And they could be your best friend. They could be your coworkers. They could be your brothers and sisters. They could be your cousins. They could be anybody in relative close proximity to you. And you make them feel like shit because you're an ignorant fuck. Like, that's not cool. So, yeah, I just want everybody who are HIV positive, you are loved, you are great, you are not dirty, you are not contaminated, you are not less than, you are an amazing person, and shit happens. People have STDs all the time. We don't want to normalize that because we do want to normalize sexual health, and making sure that we are on top of our sexual health all the time by going to get tested and talking about these things out loud. But that doesn't matter. You, yourself, this is your situation, and that is 100% fine. Take care of yourself, know your worth, and know that you are valuable still. None of your value was taken away because you're HIV positive. Like, that's not the truth. You are not, like I said, dirty. You're not less than. You don't have to be doing random shit on the street, and even if you were, you know better now. So that's also okay. We learn and we do better. Those are the things. But don't let people judge you. Don't let people shame you. Don't let people typecast you, for lack of better words, as this awful person or this dirty person, because that's just not fucking true. And those people, as you will now know, don't have any sexual health knowledge, and they honestly should go get tested themselves. So you should tell them to shut the fuck up. Yeah. But okay. Without further ado, that's the rest of this video. I didn't want to keep you super long. I feel like this video is already long because I just kind of rambled a little bit. But yeah, I wish you all the best. I love you. You, like I said, are very valuable, and our people are doing better. We shall be doing better, continuously doing better, and advocating for better sexual health knowledge. Okay, like I said, without further ado, you have a great one. You stay cute, you stay classy, you stay kind, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. See ya. Bye.